Okay, so this is not the most polished device out there that shows time and your subscriber count, but once you get it up and running, it will keep running without much issues, and it costs $50. I know some clocks that cost more than that. Hey guys, so sorry I've been out of action for a while. It's been a crazy couple of past few weeks and I had a lot done in the house. Now I started renovations at home to build out a new space for all my speakers and for me to make videos in. And what I initially thought would have been like 2 weeks turned into more than 6 weeks. Basically, I lost track of time. Maybe because I took down my regular clock for the renovations and I didn't have it to remind me of the passage of time. So today, I'd like to show you my newest clock. This is the Ulanzi Pixel clock and it is connected to the internet. You don't actually have to set the time on this clock. It is synchronized via the internet. So unless something wonky goes wrong with the time server, you are unlikely to have the time wrong. You will also notice that the color display scrolls through to the subscriber count. Now this is useful for content creators like myself to help us keep track of the number of subscribers on the channel. Now that my subscriber base is in the tens of thousands, it displays the subscriber count rounded down to the nearest 100. So at this point in time, I might have somewhere between 33,100 and 33,199 subscribers. So these are the two main features that I use on this clock. But the clock can do a lot more. Now I'll go through these features in just a little bit. First, I'd like to talk about the physical aspects of this clock. Now this clock has a built-in battery at 4,400 milliamp hour and is good to power the clock for just about 5 hours. Now when the battery runs out, you can charge it via the USB-C port at the back. Now there is also an ambient light sensor at the top right here so that you can set the brightness automatically depending on the brightness of the surrounding, right? Now the display itself is actually rudimentary, only 256 pixels. Now I can only guess that it's about 32 pixels across and 8 pixels tall. Now at this level of resolution, you're not going to get tech sharp graphics. I can only guess that you have to be going for the retro 8-bit graphics look. But I have to say that it does have enough pixels to convey the message. And in my case, the subscriber count as well as the time, I do have a Google Nest Hub with a full color high resolution display here in the studio with me on my desk, but the time is no more accurate on that device than from this 8-bit pixel display here. The last physical characteristic that I like to bring up to your attention is the set of 3 physical buttons on the top of the clock. Now they are clickable and tactile buttons which you need to press on. Now first button here is the left key, in the middle is the OK key, and the right is the right key. Now usually I like to challenge myself when I use a new gadget, without having to refer to the manual, all the instructions. Now first thing I tried was to actually click the OK button to turn it on, but no go. Then press and hold, still no go. Double click, no go. Press and hold for 10 seconds, no go. So I couldn't turn on this clock at first try. And I had to refer to the manual. Now you have to actually press the left and the right key together, hold it to turn it on. Now that got me. So if you're looking at this video trying to figure out how to turn on the clock, there you go. Now after you figure out how to turn this on, you need to configure it. Remember, it has Wi-Fi built in and you need to connect to your network. So when you first turn it on, it will set up its own Wi-Fi network. Now use your phone to connect to that network. The SSID should be U-clock. Now once you are at that page, you need to enter your Wi-Fi credentials, the Wi-Fi that you have at home, which you use all the time. Now after the clock successfully connects to your Wi-Fi, it will show you a Wi-Fi with a tick check box right beside the Wi-Fi, and you should be good to go. The IP address of the clock will also be shown on the clock face itself in one of the pages that it scrolls through. Now to enter the settings page of the U-clock to configure the device further, you simply need to enter the IP display you simply need to enter the IP address that is displayed on the screen into your browser on the mobile device or the PC that is connected to the same network. Now, the next screen might come as a shock to some of you who don't read Chinese because the settings page is in Chinese by default. So the first thing you need to do is to go select the first drop-down item there and choose the second option, that is English. Then navigate down to the bottom of the page and click on the button that looks like this. And from there, the screen will refresh into an English settings page. Now at this point, if you look at the rest of the settings page, most of it should be quite self-explanatory. The brightness control can be manually set, or you can set it to react to ambient light condition. Now you also notice that I have the clock set to jump between my subscriber count page and the time page. And it takes about 10 seconds to scroll between the two. And this is set by the switch speed. So if the page you are on is set to scroll, for example, the IP address, the speed at which it scrolls is the scroll speed. The next few settings for the time and date should be quite self-explanatory, except for the show week. Now, I was trying to figure this out, but I couldn't find a page where it shows the day of the week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, if you take a look at the page where it shows the time, there will be 7 bars at the bottom of the page. And if you set the first day of the week as Monday, the first bar will be Monday. If you set it as Sunday, the first bar will be Sunday, and it goes on, and the 6th bar will be Saturday, for example. Now, I couldn't figure that out if I didn't refer to the manual, so that's one thing. Now, the other thing is night mode. Night mode simply makes the screen just a little bit dimmer. Now, very slight. Now, I suggest that if you were to leave the brightness on auto and set the night brightness to auto, this should work just fine. Now, you can set the night mode start and end time, which you will switch over to the night mode if your brightness is not set to auto. So far, we've been looking at the general settings page. Clicking on the next button on the screen, you will get to the common settings page, which is actually the advanced setting page. Now, here you can turn on all the different pages that is being advertised that it comes default on the Ulanzi Pixel clock. Now, some of the settings are specific to the Chinese social media platforms like Bilibili, Weibo, and Douyin. Now, scoreboard, I don't know where it's taking the information from, but basically it can display the score of the game that is ongoing. Chronograph is a stopwatch. Tomato clock is a Pomodoro 25 minutes countdown productivity timer. Battery power simply displays the battery levels on the clock itself. Ultrix simulator needs some advanced configuration where you can load some stuff on this clock which it will run. And that is a little bit too advanced for me, so I didn't actually try that out. And lastly, you can actually show the local IP address of the clock, which you will need to enter in order to access this settings page itself. Overall, the clock works pretty stable. In the few weeks that I've had it, it has not frozen up and my subscriber count is actually displayed accurately. The clock itself is actually quite well built and the working functions are normal and they are stable, right? I have not had this screen freeze on me in the past 2-3 weeks I've been using it. Although I must say that the device needs a little bit of polishing both on the hardware and the software front. For example, I would not have figured out that to power it on and off is to hold both the left and the right button together down at the same time. Now, the settings page itself has some labels which needs a bit more explanation, like the day of the week, right? Night mode settings should be fine just after the night brightness option on the settings page, but well, overall, the clock works stable and the price is right at just US $50. Now, over the past few weeks, I haven't been posting many videos, but it seems that everything at home has settled down now. The renovation work has been done and the camera, the lights, the audio has been set up. I am ready to go at it again for 2023. Now, do stay tuned for a lot more interesting content in the coming weeks. I missed you all and I'm looking forward to start making interesting videos again. Do let me know in the comment section down below if there's anything that you guys want to hear from me, want me to test out from all the speakers that I have been talking about, especially Sonos, and now I'm into Bose and Sony as well. Now, meanwhile, you have a great year ahead, and for those celebrating the Chinese New Year, have a happy Chinese New Year. 恭喜发财 and see you guys soon.